Hey guys, what's up? Carter here. Well, this is going to be a Friday night vlog, I guess you could call it. I just felt like doing just a little video, kind of what I'm doing Friday night. It's not very exciting. I'm married, I have a kid. You know, I'm not tearing things up around town or anything like that, but figured I'd share a few thoughts and kind of what I'm doing. Well, first of all, Monster Squad is playing upstairs. My kid was watching. He's actually in bed, but I haven't gone upstairs to shut it off. If any of you guys have seen Monster Squad, I used to freaking love that movie, and it was like I bought it a while ago because I remembered it better than it is. You know, it's one of those things where when you're younger, it seemed so cool, just so freaking cool when I was younger. But now, you know, it's kind of cheesy and lame, but I bought it, and my kids seem to enjoy it, even though it's a little old for them. But I'm also enjoying a very delicious beer here. This is a local brew, Hop Rising, Double India Pale Ale. It scores a 75 on the IBU scale, which is basically like a bitterness scale that hops kind of bring. 100 is the max, so 75. So it's a very bitter, hoppy beer, and I really like hoppy beers. A lot of people don't. A lot of people hate kind of bitter, hoppy type beers, but man, I love it. 9% alcohol. This sucker is. This is a beast. Freaking beast among beasts. It says right here on the back, big hop, big malt, big beer, a monster of a beer with an intense hop aroma and 75 IBUs. Very good stuff. This is actually my second one, and it's a very intense beer. In my pocket, ladies and gentlemen, is my Strider Brown Tonto, which I'm going to do a video on Tontos here soon, because it's one of those things where this really is not the most practical blade shape for me to carry as an EDC, but I think it's badass, so I've been doing it anyways. This thick tip has made it, you know, because I don't know, I guess I'll talk about it now too. I'll talk about it twice. I'll talk about it now because I feel like it, but I'll talk about it in its own video, because in case people want to know what my opinion of Tontos are, a lot of people aren't going to watch this video because they're going to see that it says Friday night vlog or whatever. But, you know, primarily in my normal EDC tasks, I'm using this much knife. You know, I'm opening things primarily, I'm cutting things, so I'm using this area right here. So I need good slicing ability up here, and Tontos, especially a Strider Tonto, just doesn't provide that. I mean, you can see how obtuse that angle is. And that's meant to keep that tip really, really strong. This is basically a folding pry bar. This here slices very well. But as I've noticed carrying this, I don't use this section of the blade all that often. I use the this area right here. But, like I said, it's just freaking badass looking. Just badass. I think the Strider 3/4 ground Tonto is one of the coolest blade grinds that I know of. Alright, so there's that, and in my other pocket I've got my cell phone, which who cares about that. The next thing, I'm gonna talk about serial killers, guys. Freaking serial killers. And I want to know, I'm gonna take a sip of this beer right here. So good. The second it hits your lips, it's so good. Definitely not a beer for, like, if you're thirsty or you need some refreshment. No, this is like a meal. You know, you have this for dinner. Anyways, on to serial killers. Yeah, I know, craziness, huh? Let's zoom in a little here. Serial killers. What sparked this? Okay, first off, I'm kind of curious what you guys think about serial killers, and not, you know, not like, oh, I think they're cool or whatever, but I mean, there's obviously a fascination with, like, morbid stuff in our society, right? Obviously. Stories pop up about weird, gross stuff that people do, and it flies off the charts, and there's news about it and books and movies based off of it. So we definitely have kind of this obsession with like gross, bad shit in our society. And I myself, I'm subject to that same thing. And I don't get why. It's a very strange kind of compulsion that I have, where I want to learn about it and I want to know about it. And I'm not one of those people that are like super into it. I don't have like documentaries and books and stuff lying around. But if I'm flipping through the channels and there's like a freaking Discovery documentary about some serial killer, I'm watching that, man. I'm totally watching that. Or like the other day, and the reason why I bring this up is that that Luca guy from Canada. I'm sure you guys have heard about this story. Freaking A, man. And I came across this just checking my email. I went to Comcast to check my my email that I use for like my professional stuff, like jobs and stuff like that. And you know, it was right there. And the freaking headline was like, impossible not to click on, right? It's like, what did it say? Gay porn star bizarre body part case. And I was like, what? Okay, click. I've got to read about that. So, anyways, yeah. And of course, so I start looking into that and reading about what happened, and I'm searching stuff up, you know, and if you're not familiar with the case, it's totally disgusting, but there's a video involved with this whole ordeal of this murder or whatever. And, you know, obviously I'm not the type of guy that can watch that stuff. I can't do it. I can't do it. It'll ruin me. But I'm still very, very curious. So I spent forever like trying to find somebody that would kind of describe what was in it without having to see it, which, you know, I was able to do actually on YouTube. Some sick freak who's into that kind of stuff did a video kind of about his impression of it, and he let some of the details out enough that I got my fix. But yeah, I spent like 2 days like looking for info on this, and it's terrible because logically I should say no, you know, this is awful. I don't want to know about this stuff. You know, I shouldn't promote coverage of this guy or what he did or whatever. You know, I should just let it be, leave it alone. But I couldn't. I kept freaking looking up information on this dude. It's such a bizarre case. But, and then, of course, as usual, that led into another case, which is the freaking, the Russian maniacs that went wild in like 2007. I hadn't even heard of that. And there's a video involved in that one as well. And I just start looking into that too. And it's a weird sensation of morbid curiosity and then kind of just soul crushing. I can't believe, you know, there's people like this out there. And then you start kind of thinking of, well, what if, particularly in the Russian one, what if something like that were to happen to me or a loved one and stuff like that. But, so yeah, so the last couple of days, things have been pretty dark in my life in terms of stuff I've been reading about and looking at. But anyways, the point of that story is, what do you think that's all about? Why do you think we as a society are obsessed and interested in stuff like that? We shouldn't be. I mean, we should be repulsed and say, oh, that's terrible. We need to do what we can to make sure justice is served. And then we should just look away and, you know, don't cover it. Don't write movies about it. Don't write books about it and documentaries and websites and pictures, and don't post that video. But we do. We freaking do. The police have been trying to get all those videos down, and they can't because it just pops up here and there and here and there in the freaking deep web. And that's because people keep wanting to see it. So what do you guys think? What is your take on that? Are any of you guys into that kind of like sick video stuff? Or, you know, why do you think we the people of the United States in particular are so enamored with that? I mean, there is kind of like, I guess it kind of goes back to kind of horror movies in general, right? The whole point is to give you a taste of, you know, that fear and depravity, but you're actually safe in the comfort of the theater, your own house. So I guess it's just like that to the extreme. I don't know. But anyways, guys, this video, I wasn't planning about talking about that, but I did anyways, so it is what it is. I guess I'll try to throw this video up right now. Who knows? Alright, guys. Take it easy. Have a good Friday night. Have a good weekend, guys. Later.